So I just spoke with the customer, and sure enough, the camshafts have been removed from this engine before. So the timing chain being off a tooth, not too surprising. So where do we go from here? I'm going to write up a summary of how much time we have in diagnostics. Let's say it did require some teardown, scope work, so 2 hours minimum. And then, to reset that chain, according to service info, you have to tear everything apart. I mean, the camshafts and this actuator assembly have to come out together. That's what the instructions say. There's no room, or at least they don't say there is, to just unbolt this camshaft and kind of wiggle it and, jump a tooth. But this thing is a tensioner and the phaser assembly all together. So you can see down there, there's a little hole. There's a special tool you screw in there to compress the tensioner to give some slack to the chain and keep this thing in one location. And then you have to remove the timing belt. To remove the timing belt, you have to take the whole front clip off. It's literally 6 or 7 hours of labor. So I don't know how I'm going to play this. Can we just try it the easy way? Maybe detension the belt right here. Tensioner's right here. We don't have to take the belt off. We just have to get it off the sprocket here. So it's possible, but by the book, this is like a 7-hour repair. Just to confirm, so I marked 16 pins with the yellow marker here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can see that we are indeed 1 tooth off. So this camshaft is 1 tooth this way. It's retarded. So we want to move it that way, 1 tooth. I can try to compress the tensioner, maybe get a long bolt down there and see if we can loosen up this chain a little bit. If there's enough slack, then remove just these cam caps. That's pretty crazy. It has like 5 valves per cylinder. Remove all these and see if we just lift the camshaft up and shift it 1 tooth. I don't know if that's possible, but I think we can try. Alright, I found a long valve cover bolt with the correct thread, and if we go down here, this will screw into that bottom piece of the tensioner, and as we tighten it carefully, we'll go real slow. You can see there's oil coming out of that hole right there. That should loosen up our cam chain, at least on the bottom, so it could still be tight because the cams are wanting to turn. But yeah, it's loose on the bottom. So is it possible to shift these cams without removing all the stuff? Alright, this is turning into I Do Cars. Let's crack the cam caps loose. So when you take this big one off the front, and then all the ones on the intake side, and we'll see what happens. If this is not successful, then we're already here, might as well try it. If it doesn't work, we'll just put it back together and tell the customer, well, do you want to pay the whatever extra hours of labor to do it the official correct way, not the shortcut way. So we just need to jump 1 tooth. That's all we need to do. You have to advance this camshaft one tooth to get this engine back on track. Alright, it's almost a moment of truth here. Take that one off. We'll put them all in order, of course. Alright, the last one. Let's see if I just hold that down. Okay, lift it up a little bit. It really wants to come up, huh? Definitely came up. Okay. Okay, well, hopefully it's a reversible process here. Now the tensioner. Okay, so that really wants to I really don't think there's a way to do this. So you want to squeeze the whole tensioner together with that special tool, which I don't have, of course. Just no room. The sprocket is hitting the stupid actuator. If there's no room, there's no other choice. We have to remove both camshafts and the actuator. Alright, timing belt has to come off. So, tensioner, loosen up that nut, and it's all the way detensioned. So, get this out of the way, or that can just stay in there. Now we need to hold this cam sprocket with a suitable tool and undo this bolt and take the timing belt off with the sprocket. I'll just put a binder clip here that can hang out, and then we'll be free to take the whole camshaft assembly with the tensioner phaser off. We can just take the cam caps off, kind of lift it up, do what we have to do, reset the chain, and then bolt the whole thing back down. Alright, so this method seems to be working pretty well. So just preload that, and cam bolt is definitely coming out. Wish I had a little shorter socket. Alright, I think we can finish that by hand. Let's get that pulley off, get this camshaft out. Alright, so cam bolt is out. Let's gently pull this off. Success. So that can just stay right there. Not going to bother anyone. And now well, to take everything off, we have to release this because the bolt's under that nut. So I guess let's do that. Man, Germans sure don't make it easy, huh? There's that. So now it's just a whole bunch of Torx. Get both camshafts out of here. all these out. Oh, the whole thing wants to come out sideways. Okay. Maybe that's, nope, we still don't have enough slack. Should I reinstall the... Let me reinstall that compression device. That might give us a little advantage. Okay. All the cam caps. Alright, last cam cap here. Make sure nothing springs out of the way. Alright. Now we should be camshaft is stuck in there, isn't it? I think it's these valves are being depressed and they're jamming up the cam against the head surface. So I'll straighten that out. There we go. Force in the right place. All right. And here we go. Now we're free. The camshafts are still trapped in this tensioner gizmo. Okay, that can go out of the way. Let me find a place to put these and then we'll work on them off the engine. Alright, let's see if we can remove this contraption here. The whole thing. This is honestly ridiculous. So now we can use some kind of clamping device to clamp that closed and then finally get the cam chain off. See that? Yeah, there's a spring right there pushing that down. That's pushed up. Okay, so if I push that down, the camshafts can turn. Can I get this one out? Yes. Now we need to reset it the right way. So one tooth forward. And we can always count 16 teeth. Make sure we're on the money. Something like that. Close enough. Let's see. So the camshafts are up here. So it was retarded and we advanced it 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now number 16 is aligned with that notch. I think I'm happy with that. Now we have to put this whole contraption back in the car. Camshafts are bolted down. Haven't torqued them yet. Let's put on the final cam cap. There's some great RTV. Nice spread on that since it's a metal to metal seal. That should be fine. Make sure it doesn't clog any of the oil passages. And we'll just go like that. Make sure they hug the oil seals. Start them by hand. Zip them down lightly. Alright, let me torque all these down and then we can reinstall the valve cover and reset the timing belt, tension it. Hopefully no more check engine light. So last step I thought would be easier, tensioning this timing belt. This tensioner is obviously fancy and all data says you need special tools to basically, let's see here. There's a hydraulic part of the tensioner right here. And then there's this little locking tab that you're supposed to compress the hydraulic part and then put the locking tab in and then detension the, it's like an offset concentric part and then take the belt off. Well, we didn't do that, so the hydraulic part is fully extended. And they say you need this special pin wrench to turn counterclockwise to compress the hydraulic part, put that tab in there, and then turn pinch counterclockwise until the locking plate can be removed without tension. That's this part. And then use a little drill bit for the hydraulic part to extend the right amount. And finally, hold it in that position with this special wrench and then tighten this lock nut down. So we're going about it the the way without special tools. So with the 8mm hex wrench in there, I got an extension and I basically slowly held this down until that hydraulic part was all the way retracted. That's this little metal step right here that's pushing down on the hydraulic piston, and now the timing belt is ultra loose. Okay, so now what I want to do is, instead of using a special pin wrench, just use a little claw, or actually a long claw. When we rotate this concentric or eccentric, you see the pulley is going to shift to the right and tension the belt up, and the hydraulic part is still compressed because I'm holding this down. Okay, so you know, it's not ideal, but if we can get this thing like so, you know, that's still pretty loose, so we'll keep turning it. Might have to do this off camera to get a little better angle, but you get the picture. Once that's tight, we can tighten up the pinch bolt and then release our hex wrench, and the hydraulic part should take up the rest of the slack. So basically the name of the game is on the hydraulic part, you want to be in the middle of the range so the tensioner can do its function. Okay, basically take up most of the slack with the mechanical part, the eccentric, and then release the hydraulic part. So let me do that, tighten up that nut, and we'll see if the timing belt is successfully tensioned. Okay, so now that nut is tight and the belt is, there's a little bit of play. So now we're going to release this piece right here. I'll just undo the holder, and we'll see if that hydraulic part extends. There you go. See, it's extending. And you want 6 to 10 millimeters, and that looks just about perfect. Now the timing belt is nice and tight, and I can always go push the other way, but that's it. That's set. Everything's happy. I don't even know if this was properly tensioned to begin with when we got the car, so I just loosened that middle bolt. I don't think it was. So now it should be good to go. Alright, we're almost there. I got the reluctor wheel back on the intake cam. You can see the black mark moved advanced one tooth on that chain. So once we put the cam sensor back on, clear the codes, this thing should fire right up. No more long crank time or check engine light. We got the scope hooked back up. Scanner, let's clear the fault codes. Yes. Okay, and read DTCs, make sure we're starting off clear. Alright, we'll run the scope. Place your bets now. Is it going to fire right up? Now keep in mind that tensioner doesn't have any oil in it, but let's see. No check engine light. No trouble codes. It's happy. It just doesn't have any brakes. That's the brake pad indicator. We'll shut it down. Revs up nice. Okay. Let it go to sleep. Key on. Done. Fixed. So, not as straightforward as it could have been. Wasn't a bad sensor. Timing belt was spot on the money, but the rear timing chain was off a tooth on the intake cam. So some disassembly was required, but hey, no parts required. So that's a win. Customer will be so thrilled. Get the rest of this car back in order, get it back on the road. So hope everyone learned something new. I'll post the waveforms here on the Google Drive. See the link below. As well as, a lot of people ask, what scanner is that? What meter is that? Everything is in the description. All of the tool links that are available on, through Amazon, see the description. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Alright, a little bonus footage. You guys can follow along with the waveforms that you can download from the Google Drive. But these, we'll put the cursors in from 0 to 720, that's 2 crankshaft revolutions. And so this is good after repair, and these cursors line up exactly with the rising edge of this little step in between the two fat, high pulses. Okay, that's no good. Let's take a look at what we had before. So same little step, you can see it's to the left, and that's about 18 degrees crank over advanced, right? Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't 100% accurate on what exactly shifted. Which way did we turn the cam? So we turned the cam clockwise 1 tooth, which would be advancing it. So the problem was it was retarded. So as we can see here, if we focus on the good waveform, the rising edge of this small pulse is now occurring exactly on that sync notch. Okay? On the bad waveform before, see this rising edge is occurring a few notches later, so the camshaft was retarded by 1 tooth, and we advanced it 1 tooth, so that makes sense, about 30 degrees crank degrees. And that's the fix for this cart.